The morning sky above New York City rippled like heat over asphalt. Pedestrians froze mid-step, pointing upward with coffee cups slipping from their hands. Cars braked suddenly as drivers craned to glimpse what had no right to exist. Then the ships emerged. They slid out of nothingness, vast and silent. The largest dwarfed 3 city blocks, its surface gleaming like living metal that shifted colors in sunlight. Smaller vessels drifted around it like minnows circling a whale. Across the globe, the same vision unfolded. London, Tokyo, Moscow, Sydney. Every great city now wore alien shadows above its skyline. At NASA, Dr. Maria Santos was bent over her console when the emergency call crackled through. For 20 years, she had studied faint whispers from the stars, always hoping for a sign that humanity was not alone. Now proof floated just outside her window. "Maria, briefing room." "Now," her director barked. "The president wants everything we've got on these ships." But there was almost nothing. They had arrived without signal or warning. Even Earth's strongest radar arrays had detected nothing until the vessels simply were there, poised above the planet as if they belonged. Inside the briefing hall, generals and scientists crowded around glowing screens and scattered photographs. General Harrison, tall and gray-haired, spoke urgently into a phone. "No, sir. We don't know their numbers. They're above every major city." Dr. Santos stared at the images. The alien craft were breathtaking, curved and seamless, more sculpture than starship. Yet their beauty screamed of impossible technology. "How could they arrive unseen?" Dr. Kim muttered. "Our telescopes should have tracked them light years out." Before anyone could respond, every television, monitor, and phone on Earth went dark, then flared with a single image. A figure appeared. Not human, yet not monstrous. Tall and slender, skin pale blue, eyes vast and black. Its mouth shaped words that emerged in flawless English. "People of Earth," it said, "we are the Zephyrian Confederation. We have observed your world for many years. We come in peace, bearing friendship and knowledge." The voice was calm, patient, like a teacher soothing children. "Your civilization has reached a stage where safe contact is possible. We are 12, united societies dedicated to peace and progress. We invite humanity to join us as a protected member." Dr. Santos's pulse thundered. This was the moment she had longed for all her life. First contact at last. Yet the phrase protected member lodged uncomfortably in her mind. The message continued. "We know change can be frightening, but our gifts are many. Clean energy, medicine to end disease, technologies to lengthen and enrich life. All we ask in return is that you permit us to guide your growth." Across the planet, awe clashed with fear. Some people screamed and ran through the streets. Others froze, unable to accept what their eyes showed them. Children tugged at parents' arms, whispering if the aliens were heroes or monsters. The being in the broadcast smiled, though the expression sat strangely upon its alien features. "We will establish contact centers. In your major cities, we will establish contact centers. Your leaders may meet with us, for we have much to discuss about your future." With those words, the broadcast ended, and screens across the world flickered back to normal. In NASA's briefing room, voices erupted all at once. General Harrison barked into a secure line with the Pentagon. Dr. Kim hammered at his keyboard, dissecting the alien transmission. Dr. Santos, however, sat in silence, lost in thought. "It's incredible," Dr. Kim said breathlessly. "Technology beyond anything we can imagine. Did you see that? Every communication channel hijacked at once, and their ships. They must possess faster-than-light travel to appear here unseen." General Harrison slammed down his phone and addressed the room. "The president is convening an emergency summit with world leaders. Every nation is scrambling to decide what comes next." Dr. Santos finally spoke. "Did anyone notice the way they spoke to us?" Harrison frowned. What are you suggesting? They addressed us like children, she said slowly, as though we're incapable of charting our own destiny. They promised guidance and protection. But what if we don't want it? Dr. Kim shook his head. Maria, look at what they can do. Ships materializing from nowhere, commandeering our networks like toys. We should be grateful they offer help rather than conquest. But Santos felt no comfort. She had spent her life studying the cosmos, and she knew a species that could leap between stars wielded unimaginable power. Their gentleness could signal peace, or the certainty that nothing on Earth could resist them. Outside, alien ships still hung in eerie silence above the cities. By afternoon, smaller craft descended, landing in open spaces. The beings who emerged matched the broadcast, tall, thin, blue-skinned, with vast, dark eyes. They moved with serene confidence, unafraid of humanity. From their vessels, they unfolded. Contact centers, smooth, gleaming structures grown from the same strange material as their ships. Governments dispatched officials, soldiers, and scientists to meet them. Dr. Santos was selected for the delegation at the New York site. As she walked toward the shimmering structure in Central Park, her excitement wrestled with unease. This was the most pivotal moment in human history, yet something about it felt wrong. The building pulsed with its own inner light, walls flawless, without seam or door. Then, as the team approached, the wall itself parted, reshaping to let them through. Inside, 3 aliens awaited, clad in robes that rippled like liquid metal. The leader stepped forward, speaking in the same calm, measured voice from the broadcast. Welcome. We are honored to meet your species. There is much to discuss. Your future, and how we may help you grow and prosper under our guidance. Santos met the alien's dark, unblinking eyes and shivered. Their words sounded kind, yet the insistence on guidance unsettled her. She could not know how right her instincts were. The Zephyrians had studied Earth in depth, and they had already judged humanity's place among the stars. They simply had not revealed that verdict. 3 weeks passed. Humanity struggled to adapt, while the Zephyrians worked tirelessly. They examined human society with clinical precision, as scientists might study insects. Aboard the flagship, Commander Veltar stared down at the blue-green sphere. He led this mission, and unease gnawed at him. "Report," he ordered. Science Officer Kixara consulted her glowing tablet. "Commander, our findings are troubling. These humans are not what we expected from their radio emissions." Veltar narrowed his gaze. "Explain. Their technology appears primitive, chemical. Rockets for spaceflight, ships too slow to ever reach another star. But their timeline." She summoned a holographic chart. They leapt from horse-drawn carts to nuclear weapons in under 2 centuries. From first flight to their moon in just 66 years. No species we've studied has advanced this fast. Veltar stared at the progression in silence. In all his centuries of first contact, nothing compared. Civilizations typically required millennia to crawl into space. The Zephyrians themselves had taken over 3,000 years just to journey from fire to their own moon. "There's more, Commander," Kixara continued. "We've been monitoring their internet activity and analyzing their entertainment media. These humans show an unusual relationship with conflict and problem-solving." "What do you mean?" Veltar asked. "They thrive on challenges that would overwhelm other species. When confronted with problems, they don't simply solve them. They invent solutions that often turn their tools into weapons. Even their games and stories emphasize overcoming impossible odds through cunning and force." A chill ran down Commander Veltar's spine. "Show me examples." The holographic display shifted, presenting clips from human movies and video games. Humans fending off alien invasions, surviving disasters through ingenuity and violence, converting mundane objects into deadly tools. Story after story showed humanity refusing to surrender, even when facing certain death. This is just their entertainment, Commander. But consider their history. The display transitioned to human warfare. Humans had fought each other relentlessly, throughout recorded time, but each conflict honed their skill. Every war made them stronger, more adaptable, more dangerous. Meanwhile, Dr. Santos had been working alongside the Zephyrians at the New York Contact Center for 3 weeks. The aliens remained polite, helpful, and meticulous, but their questions were probing. Manufacturing capacity, population statistics, resource allocation, societal organization, they wanted every detail. Their curiosity about military technology was especially sharp. "Zarath," Dr. Santos asked, "why do humans have so many languages and cultures? Most species unify before reaching space." "Humans evolved in varied environments," she explained. "They adapted differently, developing multiple ways to solve problems. That diversity leads to both conflict and innovation." Zarath noted her words. "And humans quickly adapt to new technologies?" "Yes," Santos said. "We're good at learning and repurposing tools." "Curious about their nature," Zarath replied, but Santos noticed his unease. On the Zephyrian flagship, briefings grew tense. Intelligence Officer Morton reported, "Commander, these humans may be unsuitable for Junior Confederation membership." Veltar raised an eyebrow. "Explain." "In 3 weeks, we've documented 17 ways they could weaponize the technologies we've shared. They treat every tool as potential conflict." Veltar studied his staff, concern mirrored in their faces. "Which technologies specifically?" "All of them," Kixara said. "We introduced basic energy cells for study." Within days, human engineers asked about energy density and discharge, clearly considering offensive uses. Morton added, "They learn astonishingly fast. Follow-up questions show they grasp not just what we teach, but implications. We explained communication systems yesterday. Today they inquire about encryption and disruption possibilities, faster than we did initially." Veltar was silent, recalling 12 prior contact missions, all smooth. Other species had welcomed guidance over decades or centuries. Humans, however, didn't just learn, they improved, innovated, and repurposed technology. "What's the Confederation consensus?" he asked. "Split, sir," the diplomatic officer answered. "Some urge continuation, hoping human ingenuity benefits all. Others advise withdrawal. And the third option." The room went silent, unspoken but understood. Morton finally said, "Containment. Protocols. Restrict human expansion beyond their system." Veltar closed his eyes. Containment meant war, crippling human space capability and confinement. The Confederation had invoked it only twice, for species too dangerous to release. "Kixara," he said quietly, "there's more. Humans are asking uncomfortable questions. About why? About protected membership. Some sense they are not treated as equals." Veltar looked down at Earth. Peaceful, blue, beautiful. Yet the data told the truth. Adaptable, inventive, aggressive. Humans could be the Confederation's greatest asset, or greatest threat. "Continue monitoring and assessment," he ordered. "Prepare containment, but reveal nothing." As staff departed, Veltar lingered, staring at Earth. This mission was no longer simple. Humans were learning, adapting, and growing more dangerous daily. Dr. Sarah Chen, expert engineer, held a Zephyrian device, amazed. "Incredible," she whispered. "About the size of a smartphone, weightless, a basic gravity manipulation unit." "We thought your engineers might find it educational," Zarath said. "It illustrates principles used in our ships, simple tasks like cargo handling. Our full systems are far more complex." Chen turned it over, mind racing. A small gravity field. Aliens had mastered one of the universe's fundamental forces. "Could my team study this further?" she asked. "Of course. Knowledge should be shared," Zarath replied. That is why we are here. Dr. Chen smiled, though her mind raced. She sensed this small device might change everything. 3 days later, that intuition proved correct. Sarah, you need to see this right now, called Dr. James Wu, her research partner. He stood beside a table cluttered with disassembled alien devices. What did you find? She asked, moving closer. We've figured out how their gravity generator works. And Sarah? We can make a better one. Dr. Chen blinked. Better, more efficient. Look at this. Dr. Wu activated a holographic display revealing the device's interior. They use a symmetric field generator, wasting about 30% of energy just to maintain stability. If we adjust the field geometry and add our own stabilization, he switched to a new display showing their modifications. We achieved the same output with 40% less power. Scale it up. Dr. Chen's pulse quickened. Scale it up how? If we're right, we could build a gravity drive not just superior to theirs, but better than anything they've ever seen. Across the city, General Harrison was having his own revelations. The Zephyrians had shared basic defensive shield technology with Earth's military. General, you'll want to see this, Colonel Martinez said, entering with a thick folder of test results. What is it? Alien shield tech. We tested it as they suggested and found something surprising. Martinez spread out diagrams. They claimed it's defensive only, but that's not entirely true. Explain. Reverse the shield generator polarity and focus its energy, Martinez said. You get a directed energy weapon stronger than anything in our arsenal. This morning we tested it on a tank. Harrison stared at the photos. Where the tank had been, only a crater remained. How powerful. Enough to pierce 6 feet of reinforced concrete like paper. And that's basic tech. Improvements? Harrison sank into his chair. Do the aliens know? We don't think so. They never considered offensive applications, only defense. Colonel, how long to produce more? With current capabilities, 100 units in 2 weeks, 1,000 in 2 months. Do it, and don't tell the aliens. Back at the lab, Dr. Chen's discoveries would have alarmed the Zephyrians. Her team had not only improved gravity tech, but combined it with human innovations. Show me the test results, she urged Dr. Wu. Sarah, this exceeds our expectations. Hybridizing their gravity manipulation with our fusion drives yields propulsion faster than their ships, by orders of magnitude. Dr. Chen studied the calculations. Travel between star systems could take weeks instead of months or years. Are these numbers correct? Checked 12 times. We could build a ship outrunning any fleet, Wu said. Chen felt excitement and unease. Have you told anyone? Not yet. Wanted to show you first. We must tell someone. This changes everything. I know. But carefully, who and how? Wu looked puzzled. Think, James. They gave us this tech expecting us to use it as they do. They didn't expect improvement. What does that reveal about how they see us? They underestimated us? Consider us primitive? Assume we can't innovate? Exactly. Children to be guided and protected. Wu's understanding deepened. You mean they're withholding critical knowledge? All they've shared. Gravity, shields, energy storage, likely toys to them. Obsolete tech disguised as advanced. Then what do we do? Dr. Chen reviewed the results. In 3 weeks, humans had enhanced alien systems, discovered offensive applications, and hybridized technologies. We continue improving, quietly, without revealing our true capabilities. Meanwhile, Commander Veltar received reports confirming his worst fears. Sir, unusual energy signatures detected at human facilities, Morton reported. They're testing our technology extensively expected. They were told for study. Yes, sir, but outputs differ significantly. Veltar's stomach chilled. Different how? Higher, sir, combined with their systems in ways we didn't foresee. Show me. Holographic displays revealed altered energy patterns, Zephyrian in origin, but fundamentally modified. If accurate, humans have improved our tech 30 to 40% in under a month. Veltar stared. Zephyrians took decades for minor improvements. Humans had advanced alien science in weeks. What are they building? Unclear, sir. Most sensitive work shielded from our sensors. But signs point to propulsion and weapons. Weapons? Yes, sir. They appear to have weaponized our shield tech. Defensive systems now turned into directed energy weapons. Commander Veltar remained silent, his senior staff tense around him. After a long pause, he spoke. Contact the Confederation Council. Inform them containment protocols must be enacted immediately. Sir? Asked his diplomatic officer. Are you certain? The humans haven't shown hostility, have they? Veltar gestured toward the energy readings. They've weaponized our technology. They've enhanced systems that took us centuries to develop, all in secret. He scanned his officers. These humans are more dangerous than any species we've encountered. They don't merely adapt, they improve. They don't just defend, they weaponize everything. What are your orders, sir? Veltar looked down at Earth. Those humans believed they were welcomed into a galactic community, unaware their rapid progress terrified their visitors. Prepare the fleet for combat. Containment must be swift before they threaten the galaxy. And the humans? Do we warn them first? Veltar paused. In 12 prior first contact missions, he had never faced this choice. Other species hadn't mastered Zephyrian tech in weeks. No warning. Any delay gives them time to fight back, and considering human ingenuity, I won't risk finding out. The attack began precisely at 300 GMT on Tuesday. Timing ensured most of Earth's population would be asleep, slowing military response. The plan, strike major installations and government centers, then demand surrender. Initial targets were clear. Military bases in the US, Russia, and China vanished in blue flashes as Zephyrian energy weapons struck from orbit. The Pentagon, Kremlin, and Beijing's central government district became smoking craters within minutes. First wave complete, reported Weapons Officer Krendel. Human response minimal. Veltar nodded grimly. Necessary, not pleasure. Begin second wave. Major population centers, but use minimal force. Our goal is control, not extermination. But during the second wave, the unexpected occurred. Humans fired back. Captain Lisa Rodriguez awoke to alarms at Peterson Air Force Base. Fully dressed, she sprinted to the command center, trained for this, though she never imagined it would happen. Situation. She demanded over explosions outside. Aliens attacking! Yelled Major Davis, base commander. Pentagon, Cheyenne Mountain, and others hit. We're at war. 3 weeks prior, aliens offered friendship and technology. Now, cities burned. Orders, sir? Every fighter airborne. We've got experimental weapons based on their tech. Time to test. Rodriguez raced to her hangar. The F-22 she climbed into was unrecognizable. Human engineers had upgraded it using alien innovations. Missiles were based on Zephyrian shields turned offensive. Guidance employed modified gravity manipulation. Engines fused human and alien power systems. As she soared, alien ships loomed like lethal angels, hulls glowing blue from their weapons, seemingly invincible. She locked on and fired. Alarms blared on the Zephyrian flagship. Weapons Officer Krendel stared. Commander, humans are retaliating. Expected, Veltar said calmly. Primitive weapons won't breach our shields. Sir, they aren't primitive. Energy signatures match our tech but altered. The ship shuddered violently. Warning lights flashed. Enforcer hit. Shields down. Heavy damage, Commander. Veltar watched the tactical display. A human fighter had struck a Zephyrian heavy cruiser with a single missile. Impossible. How? Humans weaponized our shield tech. That missile penetrated defenses as if they didn't exist. On Earth, more pilots realized upgraded weapons worked. Lieutenant Chen, unrelated to Dr. Sarah Chen, piloted a modified F-35 over ruined Washington, D.C. against 3 alien fighters. Aliens flew with precision, superior speed, and maneuverability. But humans had learned unpredictability. Chen dove, forcing pursuers into urban ruins, then performed a maneuver no sane pilot would attempt. Flying through collapsed debris, she disrupted targeting locks. 2 alien fighters crashed trying to follow. The third broke off, confused by tactics defying training. The real surprise came when aliens attacked major cities. They expected helpless civilians and token defenses. Instead, they discovered humans had turned their cities into fortresses. In New York, crews had worked non-stop since the first alien ships appeared. Publicly, they claimed infrastructure upgrades. Privately, they were installing defense systems built from alien technology. When Zephyrin ships attacked Manhattan, energy weapons blazed from skyscrapers, bridges, and even subway tunnels. The aliens had gifted advanced shield tech in peace. Humans had transformed it into citywide defense networks. "This is impossible," muttered Intelligence Officer Morton, reviewing battle reports. "Sir, humans fortified major cities using our own tech. They've turned urban areas into military strongholds." Commander Veltar began grasping the scope of their mistake. "How long have they been preparing?" "Sir, we've monitored communications since arrival. No evidence they knew about our planned strike. Then how?" "Sir, I believe they anticipated the possibility of attack. They've been ready from the start." Veltar felt a cold dread. Humans had smiled, cooperated, and secretly prepared for war. Zephyrin gifts had been immediately assessed for battlefield use. Yet the worst revelation awaited. Dr. Sarah Chen was in her lab as explosions rocked the city. Final tests of her hybrid drive system paused. She didn't need anyone to tell her what was happening. The aliens' true intentions were revealed. She activated an emergency network that officially didn't exist. For 2 weeks, human scientists worldwide had secretly shared alien technology insights. They suspected this day might come. This is Chen. Phoenix protocols are active globally. Hidden facilities sent similar messages. Human engineers activated secret systems. Ships that shouldn't have existed launched from concealed bases. The first human ship encounter was with Captain Tor, commanding a destroyer near the moon. Sensors detected a small craft approaching at impossible speed. "Identify that vessel," he ordered. "Sir, human origin, but energy signature unusual." "Unusual how?" Before an answer came, the human ship fired. The energy beam that struck Torre's ship outmatched any Zephyrin weapon. Shields collapsed instantly. The vessel tore apart. "Impossible," Tor whispered as his destroyer disintegrated. Humans don't have weapons like this, yet they did. In 3 weeks, human engineers had improved Zephyrin tech, building hybrid systems surpassing originals. Stronger weapons, faster ships, and reinforced defenses. Back on the flagship, Veltar received alarming reports. Human ships were outmaneuvering Zephyrin vessels designed by civilizations thousands of years ahead. Pilots executed tactics defying every known combat principle. But they worked. "Sir, we're losing ships faster than replacements can arrive," his tactical officer reported. "Humans weaponized our tech beyond our own capability. How is that possible?" "Sir, we underestimated them. They don't just copy, they improve. Every system we shared is enhanced and weaponized." Veltar studied the tactical display around Earth. Red icons marked destroyed Zephyrin ships. "Too many to count." "Sir, another problem," said Communications Officer Yelton. "Human ships are launching at impossible speeds, heading toward our outer system support fleets." "Enhanced? How?" "Faster than our fastest vessels, sir." Veltar's horror deepened. Humans weren't merely defending, they were attacking. Ships outrunning the Zephyrin fleet hunted alien vessels throughout the solar system. "Sir, incoming transmission from human leadership." "Put it through." A woman in military uniform appeared on the main screen. Calm face, eyes hard as steel. I am General Martinez, representing the United Earth Defense Force. Commander Veltar, I presume. How do you know my name? We know much about you and your fleet. We've been monitoring for months. 6 months post-invasion. The wreckage of the Zephyrin fleet littered the solar system like broken toys scattered across a playground. Veltar stood on what remained of his flagship's bridge, staring down at the blue planet that had become his species' greatest nightmare. The ship trembled as another human patrol craft sped past. The humans stopped targeting Zephyrin vessels weeks ago, not mercy, but because there weren't enough ships left to justify ammunition. "Sir," whispered Communications Officer Yelton, voice tight, "we're receiving another transmission from the human fleet." Veltar closed his eyes briefly. "Put it through." The screen flickered, revealing Admiral Sarah Chen. Once a research scientist, she now commanded the most formidable space fleet in known galactic history. "Commander," she said calmly, "are you ready to discuss terms?" "Terms?" Veltar thought. "You've already won." Admiral Chen smiled, but not cruelly. "Commander, you still don't understand us, do you? We don't seek to destroy you. We want cooperation. Work with us. Yes. We attacked your planet, and yes, you lost. But we don't have to remain enemies forever." Veltar stared, stunned. After everything his people had done, she offered collaboration rather than vengeance. "What do you want from us?" "Information. About your confederation, your political structures, and we seek diplomatic ties with civilizations that treat us as equals." Veltar flinched slightly at her next words. "Refuse. And you can explain to your council why one of their fleets was annihilated by a species they deemed primitive." Veltar glanced at his ruined bridge. Most of his crew was dead, his fleet obliterated. Yet the humans offered him a way to salvage something from disaster. "What information specifically?" "Everything. Star charts, political hierarchies, military strengths, trade routes. We intend visits to your Confederation worlds and prefer to arrive informed. Visits. Diplomatic missions." The thought of human ships in Confederation space chilled Veltar to the bone. If one human fleet could destroy Zephyrin forces, what could they do to species unaware of the threat? "They'll never accept you as equals," he said. "Confederation rules forbid primitive species from participating fully." Then perhaps it's time for new rules. 3 weeks later, the Confederation Council received a transmission that would reshape galactic politics. From the Riel system, home to the Altarian Republic's capital, came a short, direct message. "This is Admiral Chen of the United Earth Space Force. We request permission to establish diplomatic relations with the Altarian Republic. We will arrive in 72 hours. High Counselor Zeph read it thrice before calling an emergency session. The Altarians, founding Confederation members, had never heard of the United Earth Space Force. "What do we know about these humans?" Zeph asked his intelligence chief. "Nothing, sir. They aren't in our databases. The message originated from a system recently surveyed by the Zephyrians, but no reports were received. Contact the Zephyrin fleet, find out what's happening." "We've, tried, sir. The Zephyrin expedition has been silent for over 6 months." A growing unease gripped Zeph. "Zephyrin fleets did not vanish without cause. Sir, sensors detect incoming ships." "Zephyrin vessels?" "No, sir. Unknown design. Extremely fast." Images filled the main display. Sleek, angular ships unlike anything in Confederation records. Their energy signature's impossible. Most alarming. They moved faster than any known fleet. "How many?" 12. Maintaining formation, heading for our capital. Zeph made a decisive call. "Send a message welcoming them. No hostile actions. If they intended attack, our fleets couldn't stop them. Diplomacy is our only option." The human fleet entered orbit without incident. Admiral Chen's flagship, a massive hybrid of human engineering and improved alien technology positioned prominently for all to see. Counselor Zeph, Admiral Chen said at their first meeting. Thank you for seeing us. Admiral Chen, may I ask what happened to the Zephyrin expedition sent to your system? What happened to the Zephyrin expedition? They attacked us. We defended ourselves. Some survived and are now assisting us to establish better relations with your Confederation. Counselor Zephak felt his heart skip a beat. You defeated an entire Zephyrin fleet? Completely? It took about 6 months, yes. I realize that seems impossible. The Zephyrians are among your most advanced military civilizations. Admiral, Chen smiled. Counselor, you are operating under several misconceptions about human capabilities. We'd like to correct them. Over the following days, human representatives demonstrated technologies that should not have existed. They presented star charts covering regions no Confederation vessel had ever surveyed. They displayed weapons that made Confederation fleets seem like toys. Most importantly, they made it clear humanity had no interest in conquest, only trade, cooperation, and mutual respect. We do not seek to join your Confederation as junior members, Admiral Chen explained. We offer partnership as equals. But any attempt to treat us as primitives in need of guidance will result in consequences similar to those faced by the Zephyrians. Counselor Zeph considered the vanished Zephyrin fleet carefully and made a wise decision. What kind of partnership are you proposing? Within a year, human ships visited all 12 Confederation worlds. The approach was consistent. Arrive. Peacefully, demonstrate overwhelming technological superiority, extend offers of cooperation to those who treated humanity as equals, and make consequences clear to those who did not. Some species resisted. The Cracks believed their fleets could handle a few human ships. They learned otherwise when human vessels entered their system and neutralized their navy in 3 hours, without killing a single Cracks. Other species, wiser, chose cooperation. They discovered humans were excellent trading partners, generous, allies, and patient teachers, but firm in expectations regarding how they were treated. Commander Veltar eventually returned to Confederation space as humanity's unofficial ambassador. His briefings opened with a simple declaration. Humans are not like us. They do not just adapt, they improve. They do not merely survive, they grow stronger. They do not only defend, they turn everything they touch into something greater. Displayed images of human ships, hybrids of improved Confederation technology and human innovation, and recordings of pilots performing impossible maneuvers that defied conventional tactics, yet succeeded. He always ended with the same warning. Do not make our mistake. Do not attempt to conquer, control, or guide humanity. Work with them as equals, or you will learn what it means to face a species that converts every challenge into power. The Bohr galaxy learned. Within 5 years, human ships patrolled trade routes long plagued by pirates. Colonies thrived on worlds previously deemed uninhabitable. Human technology revolutionized medicine, engineering, and space travel across Confederation space. Most importantly, the age of hierarchical domination ended. Humanity introduced a new paradigm: voluntary cooperation between equals, rather than control of primitives by advanced species. Dr. Maria Santos, once studying alien signals at the arrival of the Zephyrians, now served as Earth's chief diplomatic officer. She often reflected on those early days when humanity watched alien ships overhead, wondering their purpose. They wanted to control us, she would tell young diplomats. Instead, they learned why a species that has fought for survival from its first breath should never be underestimated.